your information. Nope, I gotta talk to you. We need your information to trespass you from the bank.
I've never been on their property.
Well, we're gonna confirm that. So
you've already confirmed it. Yeah, you're blocking my way, bro.
Hey, stop.
The manager would like you trespassing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. No, I don't.
No, we do.
No, I don't.
We do.
Legally, I don't, man.
In order to trespass you, we need your.
You tell me that I can't go on the property, and that's the end of it.
No.
Yeah, that's how it works.
We need to be able to document it because then we would never know.
You're documenting by saying this gentleman was never on their property, and
that's
then
not how that works.
It is how it works, man.
This is the chief.
Why are you?
You're the chief.
Why are you being so?
What's your name? A man exercising his rights is being uncooperative.
Yes, you are being uncooperative.
How is that?
You're creating a.
Say the word disturbance. I dare you. I already know how it goes, guys. You don't know what I used to do. You don't know what I currently do.
Okay, so then why are you doing this?
Because I can't. I have a right to.
Okay, because you're trying to.
So I was standing on the corner on my cell phone. I looked and turned towards the window, not doing anything. So anybody who looks towards a bank window is suspicious.
Yes, it is.
How?
With the mask on.
How? It's cold outside. I have my mask on all day.
She said you were videotaping inside the bank, and she was
just now. Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you trespassing my eyeballs?
She would like you trespassing from the bank.
Are you trespassing my eyeballs?
We're trespassing you from the property.
I was never on their property. So how are you going to do that?
Okay.
I mean, this is the property.
So this is a public easement, public right of way. Yeah, public right of way.
So here's my thing.
Man, are you guys educated or not?
You're trying to create problems.
Oh, we already created it. Yeah, we already created the problems.
No, you did this.
No, you guys did it because I was just standing there. I didn't even have my camera out or anything. I was just on my phone. And then I saw this. I started walking. I saw this gentleman turn his lights on, and then he was trying to call me over for some reason. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you why. I observed you looking in the window of the bank.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I can look inside anything.
She saw you videotaping inside of the bank. She would not like you on the property.
Cool. I wasn't on the property.
You videotaping the bank. Therefore, we need your identification so we can trespass you from the property. You're not receiving any citations today. We simply need your.
But you don't need my information. No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. Legally, you don't. I have a right of a Fourth Amendment. Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is? To be securing your person, papers, and effects.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't have to give you any information, especially if I haven't been on their property. You want to go down this road? We can go down this road, man.
Well, I understand.
Yeah. I'm gonna have fun with you guys. So yeah. So right now you're actually interfering right now with my duties that I have.
We understand.
Hey everybody, as many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer instructor. I train and instruct military and law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines to include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force, advanced investigations, etc. And as you can see from this video, we have the old ID through trespass, the old ID through trespass switcheroo. And again, this is 2025. I don't know why law enforcement continues to make this, to make these sentiments. I'm not really sure, but let's just get into it, right? So the first thing I want to articulate, and it's something that we know because we talk about this channel so often, is what's required for detainment, right? And so we know, based upon the United States Supreme Court case of Brown v. Texas, 1979, the Supreme Court has affirmed that law enforcement needs reasonable or articulable suspicion in order to detain and compel somebody to identify themselves. And so absent reasonable suspicion, you can't detain somebody, nor can you compel them to give you identification. The next thing we need to talk about is, what is a seizure? Well, again, the United States Supreme Court makes it very clear. The United States Supreme Court holds the application of physical force to the body of a person with the intent to restrain is a seizure, even if that person does not submit, is not subdued. Again, Torres v. Madrid, 2021. And so this is important to note, because if you are not free to go, and when you try to leave, and this, like we saw in this case, the officer stops you, that's using force. You're not free to go. That is a seizure. He is seizing you for his investigatory purpose, right? And if you're going to seize somebody, you need to have reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime. And let me just caveat this with, a call for service does not mean you have reasonable suspicion. Because you are called somewhere doesn't mean that you have reasonable suspicion. It does not mean that a crime has occurred. Now, you can investigate whatever you want. You can investigate whatever crime you want, right? If there is a call for a burglary in a neighborhood and you go and you see that the door's kicked in, great. That doesn't mean that you can stop everybody that's on that block simply because they're on the block. Doesn't mean you can go, 5 doors down and say, I'm stopping you. I want your identification because I'm investigating a burglary that happened over there. Okay, what does that have to do with the price in China? Right? And so, again, that's important because just because you were called somewhere does not mean that you, carte blanche, have reasonable or articulable suspicion. The next case law I think is super important because we're talking about freedom of speech. The flag burning case law, Texas v. Johnson, 1989. Again, United States Supreme Court held that flag burning constitutes symbolic speech that's protected by the First Amendment. The Supreme Court further held that the freedom of speech protects actions that society may find very offensive, but society's outrage alone is not justification for the suppression of speech. This is important because you have a journalist, citizen, activist, whatever you want to call him, really irrelevant. You have a guy that's on a public right-of-way that is recording with his cell phone, this scary cell phone, right? So you have somebody that's active recording on a public right-of-way. Now, with that being said, there's no crime there. There is no crime. Now, can he be trespassed from the property? Absolutely. The property owners can trespass whoever they want. In fact, just because I'm doing a video on this and I'm showing you how ridiculous law enforcement is, how ridiculous this police chief is, how ridiculous these officers that are standing by are, the fact that I'm explaining, utilizing rationale and case law, this bank may say, you know what, that guy, that solution-based law enforcement guy, I want him trespassed from my bank. Guess what? That is 100% within their rights to do. But does that mean this police chief and this officer can come all the way to where I'm at and demand my ID because I'm trespassed from a business within their jurisdiction and or venue? I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're being ridiculous, right? Just because a bank says, hey, I want these people, I'm going to point to people, random people on the road, and I want you to go trespass them. Well, that's their right. But that doesn't mean the officer can then demand an ID from you because this store wants you trespass. That's not how it works. In fact, if we're looking at this in logic, if we're using logic, which I know, I am utilizing logic in a situation that it's not been asked or warranted for. I totally get that. But let's use logic here. The bank wants this guy trespassed. Cool. The bank obviously wants him off the property. Cool. The person is no longer on the property. The trespass warning has been verbally given and acknowledged. Congratulations, guys. You've completed your task. You've completed the job. You tried to get more. You tried to get the ID. He's not going to consent to it. Great. You've successfully completed your call for service. You can 10-8 and go back to doing whatever it is that you want to be doing. And so, again, this is just, it's the ridiculousness of it is just, it's really hard to bear sometimes. And so, again, professionalism goes a long way. And again, good investigative skills and prowess goes a long way. If these police officers really wanted to get this guy's identification using some basic investigatory skills and some basic investigatory prowess, you could probably get this guy's information and you wouldn't even have to ask him consent for it, right? Law enforcement does it every freaking day. So again, this idea, just when officers act like that, like if you really wanted his identity, know his identity, again, there's lots of investigative ways that you can do it without violating his rights. But it really comes down to two things, right? Number one, it comes down to their laziness and then their ineptitude, right? Their lack of knowledge. And so, again, and it's, I hate to say that about other cops, and I hate to say that especially about police chiefs and people that run police organizations, but the intelligence on this one is just, I'm not seeing it. I'm not. And, citizens deserve more. They do. And so, again, this just goes to show that cops wonder why they find themselves in lawsuits, and they wonder why, they cost taxpayer money. Well, again, this is a perfect example of how not doing the right thing can be very detrimental to the checkbook of that community. And so, again, it's pretty straightforward here. Just because you're at a call does not mean that you have carte blanche to identify everybody. And again, at the end of the day, you've conducted your investigation, right? You have made contact. You've completed your task. Again, it's okay to 10-8. Know you did a good job. Know you got the desired results that was asked by the key holder, and you can go about your day. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Tell me. I'm curious to know. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about this situation? Curious to see your responses in the comment section. As always, long live the Republic.